Time to fall back, and we have a special day here on The Beat. Two legends, a stage icon and a journalistic juggernaut, actor and playwright Harvey Fierstein, a four-time Tony Award winner, including for his work as the larger-than-life lead character in Hairspray. He's written everything from teleplays to an award-winning children's book, The Sissy Duckling, and starred in box office hits, of course, like Mrs. Doubtfire. The American Theater Hall of Famer's off-Broadway show, Bella Bella, is open now, written and performed by Harvey himself. And we are joined by Pulitzer Prize winner Peggy Noonan, former primary speechwriter and special assistant to President Reagan. She's now a weekly columnist for the Wall Street Journal and an NBC News contributor, author of 5 New York Times bestsellers, including What I Saw at the Revolution of Political Life in the Reagan Era. So great to have you here together.
Hello, Ari.
Well, here we are on Fallback. Peggy, what's on your fallback list?
My fallback list. I think, in fairness, 2 things. One is the president's son, Donald Trump Jr., has a new book out in which he said, to my irritation, and perhaps that of everybody, he sort of compared his and his family's sacrifice in what they had to do to win and make operable the presidency to those who had sacrificed their lives, who were buried at Arlington National Cemetery. And, you know, I think we all get carried away. Exaggerations happen. But I think sometimes in America, the higher up and more powerful you go very quickly, the more you lose a little perspective.
Yeah, that's
and
a reach.
you lose a little empathy for others.
I think that's fair, and it sounds like a major reach.
Yeah, and I also think, let me just say, the real virtue of courage is shutting up about it. People who are brave and sacrifice, they never sit and tell you how fabulous they are.
Isn't that true? Yeah. I mean, you think about how much noise there is and how veterans are so often so careful and quiet about what they've seen and done and what they've given up. What else is on your list? I saw that you're not a fan of podcasts.
Well, no, that, you know, just leaping onto what Miss Noonan said here, I think that social media, podcasts, selfies, all that has made everyone's opinion the same. And I'm sorry, everyone's opinion is not the same. There's actually, you know, writers know this, right? People who write, we spend most of our time, people think of us as writers, we spend most of our time listening, reading, looking for stuff, trying to figure out what's the truth. And then we digest it and we try and put it into a form that we understand. So many people just put their opinions out there as if they mean something. And then if they get a lot of likes, that's a good opinion. If they don't get a lot of likes, I don't believe that anymore. Well, it's called our president.
What you're talking about.
It makes everything bland and in the middle when it shouldn't necessarily be in the middle. Sometimes truth is here, sometimes it's here.
And you're talking about the tension that exists in a democracy between everyone having equal rights and equal standing as citizens, which we want, but not every idea getting equal merit in the marketplace. I mean, a doctor's idea about how we might take care of ourselves is going to carry more weight than a random person reading off the internet or a podcast.
You know what else I think the whole internet of everything has done? It has, we know this, but we keep learning it in a new way every day. It blurs the line between the private, things that are private to you, and the public, the things that you show in public, which is part of how everybody gets in trouble on the internet. You say things to your friends on Facebook and Twitter, but it's not to your friends. It's dark, it's something funny, but the whole world is seeing it and does not understand your humor, the face you have, the nuance.
So I'm a fan of both of you, as I think you know. I've seen you on Broadway as Tevye. People are loving Hairspray. Does Broadway have anything in common with the news?
Well, theater is the last thing you thought of. I mean, theater is so alive and all that. But I wrote this play, Bella Bella, after I saw what happened to Hillary in her election. I said, a lot of this sounds so familiar. Where did I hear this before? And then I looked back at Bella's run for Senate, and I said, they pulled the same dirty tricks on her back then. It's the same lines, the same. And then I started examining, and I said, 40 years, nothing has changed.
Wow.
So I do this play, which has lines from Bella Abzug, like talking about Harry Truman. Says, can you imagine a man so thin-skinned that he demanded a loyalty oath from everyone who worked for him? And the audience gets very quiet and they say, can you imagine? And the whole place goes crazy. I was listening to 3 Kids on, excuse me, NPR, as I drove in.
You're excused.
Because I can listen to MSNBC, you know, but I can switch over to NPR. But it was that.
Harvey, you can listen to whatever the hell
They
you
had
want.
3 high school students, and they were saying that they don't do Facebook, they do Snapchat,
Instagram
and Instagram
Yeah.
only, and their whole values were so different than what I would have guessed a high school student is. And I said to myself, you know, you've been hanging out with old people too long. It's time to go write something about high school kids and get that energy, because we do have to turn the world over to them. It's time. It's time. I mean, it's, you know, how many 80-year-old people can we run for president? We have to say at some point.
You think the candidates, I mean, in both parties, the candidates are older.
Are very old. And
It's
I don't
amazing.
think the future belongs to old people. I think the world belongs to young people.
Yeah.
But you know, that's
Full
the
Moose
difference
Party.
between a musical and life.
What is the difference between a musical and life?
Well, it depends if it's written by Andrew Lloyd Webber. No, musicals, anything can happen. Well, life, anything can happen. There's no difference. It's all a musical. Sing
are
away.
better written.
Yeah, sing us
Musicals
off.
are
Sing
just
us
better
off.
written.
Let's sing off to Kate Walk Into Town.
I love a little Taj Mahal cakewalk.
I had the blues so bad last night, I put my face in a permanent frown. Throw your big leg over me, my mind might not feel this good again. Okay. Light me up.
What I love about musicals that are different than life is there's always another one tomorrow. Our time here is more limited in life. Thank you for being on this special Fallback.
All right. I had fun. Did you have fun?
I did.
We'll